CNN Space Science. Let's see what CNN Space Science has got in store for us today. Holy cow! Was mysterious flare in space the birth of a black hole? Well, let's see what evidence there is for this black hole. Let's see what real images and real video you have to show us of the universe. This first image here. Do you think that's real? Does that look real to you? Photos, Wonders of the Universe. This is an artist's illustration, oh, there you go, of what a Neptune-sized moon would look like orbiting the gas giant exoplanet Kepler 1625b in a star system 8,000 light-years from Earth. It could be the first EXO Moon ever discovered. Well, it looks very pretty, but is that real? No, it's not. Do we get to see the original evidence, that is telemetry data and astronomy data, that artists have used to create this illustration? No, we do not. We just get to take their word for it. Thank you, CNN. Next picture. Oh wow, this one's so real as well, isn't it? An artist's illustration of Planet X. Oh, bravo. Planet X, Nibiru. Oh, yes, of course. This is where the Anunnaki are from, right? Or maybe that's all bullshit too. This is just a complete cartoon. It's not even CGI. It's just complete cartoon. It's ridiculous. Which could be shaping the orbits of smaller, extremely distant outer solar system objects like 2015 TG387. So I guess this is where people say that Planet X has more of an irregular orbit going around the far reaches of our solar system, around our sun. But still, is this really objective proof? Is this objective evidence? No, it is not. It is an illustration. Do we get to see the original data? No, we do not. Once again, thank you, CNN. Next picture. Oh, wow, it just gets better and better, isn't it? I mean, this is so poor. This looks like Windows 97. Paint, not even clip art, not even Photoshop, paint. And what is this little halo? These stripes, wow, it looks worse than a bowling ball. This is an artist concept of what SIMP, simp, that's quite funny. Simp as in you'll believe anything, simple. J01365663 plus 0933473. I guess they've got so much great evidence of real planets like this that they have to make all these really long names, but we don't get to see any of them. They just have so many. But you don't get to see that. What it might look like. Oh, what it might look like from the artist concept. Thank you so much, Space Science. You're really full of facts, aren't you? It has 12.7 times the mass of Jupiter, so that's supposed to be very large, but a magnetic field 200 times more powerful than Jupiter's. Oh yeah, and you can tell from all this cartoon illustration. Wow. This object is 20 light years from Earth, okay? It's on the boundary line between being a planet or being a brown dwarf. Okay. Thank you for this CGI and cartoon. It's really great. The Andromeda galaxy cannibalized and shredded the once large galaxy M32P, leaving behind this compact galaxy remnant known as M32. It is completely unique and contains a wealth of young stars. Well, this is kind of pretty, but you can't really tell what's going on here. So I assume, if this is a real image or a composite image, that it's long exposure aimed right up into the sky. But how can you deduce that these are all distant suns, millions of light years away? It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just a bunch of light and long exposure, and this is extremely bright. Andromeda, that's certainly a real thing. If you have the Star Tracker app on your phone, I recommend you use it. It's very pretty. You can see Andromeda. You can see the main stars very clearly, which I assume is these main stars here that you would see in the kind of cosmological horoscope style art. But does that mean that it's cannibalized another galaxy and it's all that distance away and these are all distant suns? No, it does not. It's a collection of stars, a collection of luminaries. There's no physical evidence to back this up whatsoever. Oh, some lovely, lovely cartoons, more cartoons. Outer moons of Jupiter. Newly discovered moons shown in bold. So we have the Galilean moons closer to Jupiter, the prograde group of moons a little bit further out, and the retrograde a little bit further out, and this green thing, which I've never seen before. Unlike the group of inner prograde moons, new prograde Valetudo has an orbit that crosses the retrogrades. Now, to be fair, it doesn't matter what shape you think the Earth is or what you think the solar system and the universe is. If you zoom in on Jupiter with something like a Nikon P900 or anything better, you can see that there are moons around it. I've zoomed in on Jupiter. You can check earlier videos out on my channel where there are, depending on when I've observed it, between 2 to 4 moons. Apparently there may be 7 or more, but even I've seen 2 to 4 moons. So there is something going around Jupiter, but does that mean that Jupiter is a gas giant hundreds of millions of miles away? No, it does not. It's a light in the sky. 12 new moons have been found around Jupiter. This graphic shows various groupings of the moons and their orbits with the newly discovered ones shown in bold. Isn't that nice? What a lovely cartoon. Thank you, space science. Oh yeah, this is just totally real, isn't it? Totally real. Scientists and observatories around the world were able to trace a high-energy neutrino to a galaxy with a supermassive, rapidly spinning black hole at its center, known as a blazar. Oh, and this is a real image, is it? Wow, look at all these these arrows going in and out. Lovely. The galaxy sits to the left of Orion's shoulder in his constellation and is about 4 billion light years from Earth. Wow, this is so real. Thank you, CNN, so much. Oh, Oumuamua. Oh, yeah, this is so real. Oh, this isn't CGI. Not at all. This is so real. The first observed Interstellar. Huh. You see that predictive programming there? Interstellar. What was the movie that came out a few years ago about space and time travel and climate change? Surely not predictive programming. It's all a coincidence, right? Visitor to our solar system is shown in an artist's illustration. Thank you, artists. Thank you, science. Still waiting for the real objective data, the real images, the real videos, none of which have been supplied. Artist illustration, artist concept. This is space science, apparently. Cartoons. Cartoon science. Oh, wow. It just gets more real, doesn't it? What is this? Perhaps this is Windows XP. It's not quite as bad as Windows 95 or 97, but really that doesn't mean anything. Planets don't just appear out of thin air. Well, actually, you draw them, so they pretty much do come out of thin air. Thin paper and ink, anyway. But they do require gas, dust, and other processes not fully understood by astronomers. I agree with that much. Processes not fully understood by astronomers. There's a hell of a lot they don't understand. This is an artist's impression, damn right, of what infant planets look like. Aw, baby planet. Look how cute and round it is. Baby planet, baby planet. What they look like forming around a young star. Wow. Because we've observed this, right? Because the scientific method, that is observation, testing, and repeating, we've seen that, right? Oh no, we haven't. No, it's been deduced and it's been turned into a bunch of cartoons, and it's called space science from CNN. Wow, this just gets better and better. This here, now I'll be honest with you, I don't fully understand what this is, so I will read it. These negative images of 2015 BZ509, which is circled in yellow, show the first known interstellar, that movie again, object that has become a permanent part of our solar system. The EXO asteroid was likely pulled into our solar system from another star system 4.5 billion years ago. It then settled into a retrograde orbit around Jupiter. This does at least look like physical, first-hand evidence, but the fact that you can turn this kind of imagery into a bunch of pretty cartoons of pink and orange and green planets spinning around and then say that they're engulfing other galaxies is just fairy tales, absolute garbage. I do at least respect and appreciate the fact that we've been given this direct physical evidence here. Fair enough. But the fact that you can make artist concepts, similar to previous images, like this, from this, what a joke. Okay, let's continue. I also don't understand what this is. A close look at the diamond matrix in a meteorite that landed in Sudan in 2008. This is considered to be the first evidence of a protoplanet that helped form the terrestrial planets in our solar system. Diamond matrix, I don't quite understand. At first glance, I was almost tempted to think that these points here are actual real stars, and then these are constellations, and there's been some large kind of time lapse. But this is saying a diamond matrix in a meteorite, so perhaps this is from an electron microscope? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. Oh, yeah, totally real, totally legit. Yeah, yeah, see this every day, don't you? 2004 EW95 is the first carbon-rich asteroid confirmed to exist in the Kuiper Belt and a relic of the primordial solar system. This curious object probably formed in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter before being flung billions of miles to its current home in the Kuiper Belt. And this is a real image? Okay. Oh wow, this is so pretty. This is the kind of thing that you'll see in screensavers nowadays, so that kids are predictably programmed to think that this stuff is real. This is just a pretty drawing. It's very nice, I have to say. Let's read what they have to say. It's certainly pretty. Looks like a clown's face in here, with all these multicolored rainbow dust plumes. The NASA ESA Hubble Space Telescope is celebrating its 28th anniversary in space with this stunning and colourful image of the Lagoon Nebula 4,000 light-years from Earth. While the whole nebula is 55 light-years across, this image only reveals a portion of about 4 light-years. Okay, so this is a small portion of the Lagoon Nebula, which is relatively close to Earth in terms of the astronomical space figures that we're just supposed to believe from the scientific establishment. But really it's saying this is an image, this highly edited image with some clown face in the middle. It's very pretty, I will tell you that. It certainly is very pretty. Wonders of the universe. This is a more starfield view of the Lagoon Nebula using Hubble's infrared capabilities. Infrared, very interesting. Try using infrared at ground level and see what you can see. The reason you can see more stars is because infrared is able to cut through the dust and gas clouds to reveal the abundance of both young stars within the nebula as well as more distant stars in the background. Well, I do appreciate this image. I think this is more similar to what you should be seeing, a long exposure of infrared. I think that's more realistic. But to turn this into something like this, fairy tales, absolute fairy tales. Let's keep going. This looks very cool, some kind of fiery inferno. The Rosette Nebula is 5,000 light-years from Earth, also relatively close in comparison to other things. The distinctive nebula, which some claim looks more like a skull, has a hole in the middle that creates the illusion of its rose-like shape. I don't know about rose, it looks like some kind of fiery inferno. The Ring of Fire, the Johnny Cash song, perhaps. But, yeah, a rose? Well, I suppose you can be creative. Wonders of the universe. Because this is totally real, because this is just one image, right? KIC 8462852, also known as Boyajian Star or Tabby Star, is 1,000 light-years from us. It's 50% bigger than our sun and 1,000 degrees hotter, and it doesn't behave like any other star. Dimming and brightening sporadically. Dust around the star depicted here is an artist's illustration. Yeah, I think we knew that already. Maybe the most likely cause of its strange behavior. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? It looks so real. Oh, wow, some mud flow or some sand slide or sandstorm or something. Because this couldn't be recreated on Earth, could it? I mean, you wouldn't expect to find this kind of mud flow in any environment or country on Earth, would you? This inner slope of a Martian crater, Devon Island, has several of the seasonal dark streaks called recurrent slope lineae. Well, I think you get that on Earth as well, or RSL. That a November 2017 report interprets as granular flows rather than darkening due to flowing water. The image is from the high-rise camera on NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. Of course that's real. I mean, this doesn't look like any mud slope that you'd find on Earth, does it? No, not at all. Very impressive. A supernova explosion is very pretty, I'll give you that much. It almost seems to resemble a human eye. It's very beautiful. The longest lasting ever observed. Exploded multiple times. Well, I hope so. Oh, and I think we'll finish here. I've really seen enough CGI for one day. Of course this is real, isn't it? Of course we know we've never been more than 8 kilometers deep beyond the Earth's surface, but we know what this planet is. Sorry guys, I've had enough CGI for one day. Have a nice day. Peace.